What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod back with another live video. I know it's been a little while since I dropped one of these, so I decided to just hop on really quick and just chop it up with you guys. Just do a quick little update because there was a few little things I wanted to talk about, and I guess get some feedback, get some conversation surrounding it. So I just wanted to go live really quickly and hear what you guys had to say. So I'll give it a couple minutes, wait until some people get into the chat. But as you guys are coming into the chat, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we just jumped right into it as soon as some more people start to join the feed real quick. So like I said, I wanted to just do live really quickly. I made some notes really quick just so I can remember what's some of the stuff I wanted to talk about. If you guys can hear me, those of you that's in the chat, if you guys can hear me, see me clearly, drop a comment, let me know so we can get everything going. We got Buzz Stop Hustle, he's in the building. We got a few other people here as well. So quick little update, what's going on. So in terms of this, COVID situation that we're all dealing with right now, just want to know how you guys sales are going, how everybody's actually feeling emotionally, physically. I know it's definitely have been taking a toll on me. And I just wanted to know how you guys were also coping with it, because for a lot of us that are, especially those of us that do this full time and part time as well, we're constantly on the move. For me, I know I was always out and about. First thing in the morning, I'm usually headed out to source at like the Nike outlet or Ross or different places like that. And just being home, from this amount of time, just constantly just being indoors, it's definitely kind of killing the vibe. It's definitely killing the hustle. I always say I could equate it to an athlete that was once like at the top of their game, and now I feel like I'm just been sitting on the bench. And at first, everything was smooth because, I told you guys one of the best things to do if you have a huge death pile is to just kind of comb through that and get those items listed. And that's what I've been doing. But even that is still not the same, I guess, that same fulfillment that you would usually get when you go out in the thrift. So you go out to Ross and you come up on something that's really dope, really rare, sells for a ton of money. It's almost like you get addicted to that rush. So drop a comment if you guys, familiar with that feeling, if you can relate, because I know for me, it's one of those things where I kind of just had to gradually get over it. And I think I'm coming closer to the point where I'm like feeling more confident about it. But I think the best thing, and I'm super thankful about this, and I hope you guys did the same thing prior to all of this stuff happening. And I remember a few people even dropped some comments asking how come I'm sourcing so much, because, you can some of my videos, you guys can see my inventory room, and I had a ton of shoes, and thankfully I still have a bunch of shoes brand new in box. And the top of the year, I set a really huge goal. I said I wanted to do 300,000 in sales. Wasn't exactly sure how I was going to actually implement that, but I figured as long as I set a huge goal and I just try to chip away at it month by month, I'll be straight. And between January and about March 15th, I was just going crazy in terms of sourcing, buying things by the tons. I was buying, I felt it's almost to the point where I felt like I was shopping too much, because of course all of us enjoy that shopping side of things, that sourcing side. And I was shopping too much, and thankfully I didn't put myself in debt, but it was one of those things where I was like, almost felt like I was biting off more than I can chew, because I was spending way more than I usually would spend on inventory because I'm buying things brand new at box. If you guys can relate, drop a comment, let me know, because for this time now where we're all unable to source, where we're all kind of stuck in the house, the good thing is that I had so much inventory that, sales are still really, really strong. It's definitely not as good as it was in January and February and somewhat of March. March was still kind of strong, the first part of March, but so far sales are still good. And I think that's all because, I kind of put the work up front. So at this point, I'm really just reaping the benefits from that. So drop a comment if you guys can relate. Outlaw Hustler, what's going on? eBay sales have been steady. However, POS sales been in the toilet. Eye for Profit, I saw all them boxes. Bluegrass Picker, evening resellers, I source mainly at garage sales. It sucks not being able to source. I agree 100%, man. What it is for me in terms of Poshmark sales, they have definitely slowed down. Poshmark as a whole, I think the whole first quarter, Poshmark sales has not been as strong as I would have liked it to be. Last year, I was doing really well on Poshmark. Some weeks I was doing $25,000 to $3,000 a week. Sometimes, some months I was really killing it. Not $25,000 to $2,500 a week, $25,000 to $3,000 a month in sales on Posh. I had some really strong weeks, but for the most part, Poshmark sales for that month was really, really good. These past couple of months, all of Q1 was really, really slow. I think I was averaging maybe 1,000, maybe a little less. It was definitely not as fruitful as it was, mainly because since I switched up my sourcing strategy, because I'm not going to as many thrift stores as I used to. The ones in my area are just so expensive. People on Poshmark prefer lower end items. That is what it is. I still sell some more expensive items here and there, but the majority of my sales when I was doing large volume last year, it was because I was thrifting and I was selling. My margins were not as large. I was buying for like 5, selling for like 25. That was the bread and butter. And on eBay is where I'm really putting those brand new tags, brand new boxes, brand new sneakers in box. That's where I'm really selling the majority of my stuff. So I just think if you sell more affordable items like that $20 to $30 range, Poshmark should still do well for you. But eBay is just where it's at for me. I'm only speaking on my behalf. In terms of garage sales, Bluegrass Picker, in terms of garage sales for me, I actually bought a GoPro Hero, I believe it's the Hero 7. I bought the latest one before the almost newest, the last one they made in preparation to start hitting up garage sales. I probably got it in March. No, I got it in February. Dom got it for me for Valentine's Day. And I have yet to been able to use it because, of course, we're not going to garage sales. And I was looking forward to implementing garage sales and estate sale videos into the YouTube channel. But, it is what it is. Hopefully, by the summertime, things will get back to normal and I'll be able to try to hit up some of these garage sales. But then again, in Arizona, once it's summertime, it's too hot. So I'm pretty sure people won't even be having garage sales. So we'll see how those things go out. Definitely going through sourcing withdrawals. Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Because what it is like I was saying earlier, it's that feeling of that, you're constantly moving, you're getting that rush every day of finding something super dope. And at the end of the day, now I'm listing the things in my money pile / death pile. I'm listing the things that the reason why I ended up in the death pile to begin with is either because it had a flaw, I wasn't interested in it, so I wasn't like excited to list it. And I have a ton of stuff that I still didn't list, but it's just one of those things. It's not the same feeling. You know what I mean? I'm just like I said, I'm just thankful that sales are still coming in, because if sales were really, really slow on top of, not being able to source, I would have been in a completely different mind state. Let's see. Bus Stop Hustle, you agree with Poshmark? Absolutely, man. My sales are up, but I have listed more as well on eBay. Yeah, the thing with eBay, they opened it up for everybody with the eBay store. If you have an eBay store, and I think even if you don't have an eBay store, they gave you a ton of free listings. And I thought at first that was cool. That was a nice little gesture on eBay's part. But the downside to that is that, the downside to that is not the fact of, I don't think eBay sellers have a problem with listings. I feel like they could have done something better for us to really, kind of cope with this situation that we're all dealing with right now. I don't think the additional listings was what was needed. I feel like maybe, curbing the fees, lowering the fees, giving some type of incentive for you to even continue to sell on eBay would have been better. But I mean, it is what it is. Let's see. I'm doing thousands monthly on eBay. Can't get one sale on Posh. Yeah, man. It's the thing with eBay. eBay has the buyers. eBay has the network. eBay has the foundation. More people are just more familiar with eBay. And like I said, with Poshmark, at least with my experience, I feel like at this point, there's way more sellers on Poshmark than there is buyers. And thankfully, buyers are also sellers, because I know I purchased a bunch of stuff on Poshmark, whether I'm sourcing from Poshmark to sell on eBay or just buying for the personal collection, because sometimes people put steals on Poshmark and sometimes they don't even know what they have. So they just list it up as Nike shoes and you can get some really dope stuff for a cheap price. So I'm still buying on Posh, but it's not the same. It's not the same energy that I was getting when I first started making Poshmark videos and kind of promoting Poshmark. At this point, I'm not going to say I'm over it because I'm still making sales. I made 2 sales today, so that was always good. But, you know, it's just not the same. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're not marketing it the same. I don't know if there's just more sellers than buyers. Drop a comment if you guys have an opinion on that, because I have no clue why Poshmark is kind of taking a dip, and it's across the board. I don't follow a ton of reseller channels, but most people are saying the same thing. They're not experiencing the same level of sales and the same turnover as they was before. So we'll see. PG, I've missed you. Well, I'm back and I'm better, trying to just make it work out here and stay consistent with YouTube, because with YouTube, it's one of those things, if I wasn't in the mood to do it. So I'm not one of those sellers. I'm not one of those people that just try to hop on camera just for the sake of hopping on camera. I feel like I gotta come with something to provide. So your boy is back. The other thing that I wanted to tell you guys about, the Goodwill in my area has opened, right? In Arizona, in the state of Arizona, I think they said over 400 Goodwills are opened again, and they have been deemed an essential store. So drop a comment if you guys would go, because at the end of the day, it's, in my opinion, Goodwill isn't essential by any means. It's not a grocery store. It's literally a place that people donate stuff. But, you know, I see both sides. I think it's a really good thing that, you know, they're bringing back people that may have lost their jobs, may have gotten furloughed. So I think that's a good thing. But putting people at risk is I think why I'm a little more apprehensive about going to Goodwill. Not to mention, I already wasn't sourcing at Goodwill. The Goodwill in Arizona, they do offer a 20% coupon if you spend more than $20. So that's helpful sometimes. But I know I wasn't sourcing there because their prices were just outrageous. And I would walk into the store and I would just get pissed because it's so expensive. So for me, I already was kind of turned off of Goodwill. And for the same reasons I was kind of turned off of Savers. I was kind of just shopping in more of those local, smaller mom and pop thrift stores. Not necessarily hole in the walls, but, you know, the ones that are just not the big box Goodwill and Savers. And for me, it was just a matter of just driving around, checking Google, trying to see what other thrift stores was around. So if those other thrift stores, those smaller ones were to open, I think I'd be happier about that. But I would still be on the fence about actually going into, you know, different thrift stores and sourcing, because at the end of the day, I don't want to put myself at risk, put Dom at risk. So I'm not too sure about it. Let's see. Heck no, I'm not going in there anytime soon. Yeah, man, I agree. I feel like I had drove past yesterday. I had to go get I need to just run an errand really quickly, and I drove past the Goodwill because it was on route, and I had to just check the parking lot just to see, because I got the email just like everyone else, and the parking lot was full. The parking lot was packed. So of course I was thinking to myself, wow, people must have really missed it. But at the same time, I think it's just a matter of, it's a result of so many people just being cooped up in their house for, you know, maybe 5 weeks at this point, a little over a month at this point. So people are just, you know, eager to leave the house. So that's probably why the Goodwills were packed. But for me, I know it wasn't necessarily a good place to source, only because it was too expensive. So I know I'm not going to be taking any chances on it. Hopefully things get, like, we get a vaccine going and the economy opens back up, and I might get a little more comfortable. But as of right now, definitely not. Let's see. Looking on Mercari recently, low prices, thinking it could be good for sourcing. Yeah, I might have to hit up Mercari as well. I'm literally checking Poshmark as if I'm checking like a Supreme drop. Like, I'm literally just refreshing my page every few hours because this is the only sourcing opportunities I have. So I think I might have to download that Mercari app and do the same thing, because I know a lot of people are copying stuff on Mercari for steals, because very similar reasons. People are putting things on Mercari, not necessarily versed in whatever it is that they're selling. So they're just letting things go for $20-$30. And, you know, the tough thing is that, you know, I feel like I'm poaching because, of course, you know, you're trying to pick up things for steals that people don't know about. But at the same time, you know, you're purchasing stuff for people. So you're really doing them a service, because everybody's financial situation is different right now. Some people definitely may have wanted to get into reselling, made a few purchases. Now they're trying to get out. So people are looking for that quick cash out. And, you know, I'm doing that to a certain degree. I'm not buying the trash, but to a certain degree, I'm cashing people out. I didn't stop going until they shut the doors. I think you're talking about Goodwill, but yeah, man. Victoria West, no, I would not go. Yeah, a lot of us on the same page in terms of, not going to Goodwill because, like I said, you're just putting yourself at risk. It's just not smart. It's a two-headed sword for those who have regular jobs. People whose jobs are idled want to be back at work, and those of us who have essential jobs want to be home. Absolutely, I can agree with that because I know there's a lot of people that, the funny thing is there's so many people. I was telling Dom this the other day. There's so many people that's not even used to spending as much time with either their partner or their kids or their spouse. Like people are not used to being at home this long. So a lot of people are losing their minds and, they're trying to head back to work. Some people are not even used to being around their kids this long because kids are also out of school. So a lot of people are just losing their minds. Like one of my homeboys a couple of days ago was telling me he's losing his mind because his wife and his daughter and it's just too much noise and he has to work from home. So I can definitely understand where that's about. Let's see. Last night on Fox, they said the virus was 25 times less deadly than they thought. Yeah, I think that's definitely if you watch the news, I'll just preface it with this. If you watch the news and pay too much attention to the news, you will definitely find yourself very panicky, very paranoid, very scared, because that's what they're doing. That's what the media does. They try to push that, that negativity and that clickbait to kind of keep you going. And right now there's no sports, there's nothing else. So of course that's going to be the main thing they're talking about. But in the very beginning, just the sheer numbers alone, we all knew that it wasn't as deadly. But the simple fact is, people are dying, especially if you have any pre-existing conditions, if you're elderly, like the risk is still there. For those of us that are younger and, try to stay in shape, try to stay healthy, the risk is low, but the risk is the risk. I'm seeing little kids, die because of this. So it's tough. It's definitely tough. Let's see. I find things in my death pile that I totally forgot about. First, I miss sourcing, but looking at my pile, I have no business shopping for anything. I agree. I got a whole shelf, literally a whole like a storage rack that could like be in a garage. I have a whole storage rack full of things that I did not touch yet. And I've been plowing through it slowly. I had some bins that I needed to get through. So a lot of the clothing items have been listed and they're up. But I have a lot of electronics that's just, some needs testing, some needs cleaning. And that's why it kind of formed that death pile. So I'm going to go through it, but it's definitely still not that same feeling of going out to a store, picking stuff up and, getting that kind of activity. Let's see. Things with the extra listings on eBay is a seller has to be careful. If you have 1,000 listings per month store and you go crazy with 15, now you have 500 listings you will pay for in May. That's a really good point. I definitely didn't even think of that. That's a really good point. Hopefully they kind of extend it, you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people were kind of treating this as a month-to-month situation, and it seemed as if by the end of April the economy would open back up. But now it's seeming like things might not get back to normal till June or July, maybe even August. Who knows? So I think they might end up extending it because of that same reason. But at the end of the day, eBay is a business, and they're definitely going to try to take advantage of however they can take advantage of this situation. They're going to try to seem as if they're giving you a bone, and then in May we're all going to have to pay for those extra listings. For me, thankfully, my eBay store is kind of small. I do more volume because it's like one listing but 40 of the same exact item. So that's how I take advantage of my eBay store. But I was even thinking of increasing my eBay store, making it bigger. I was thinking of getting the level up, I guess it's the premium eBay store. And I was thinking of doing that. But the problem with me doing that is that I'm doing, like I said before, I'm doing a lot of items that's the same shoe, just 50 of the same shoe. So it wouldn't necessarily work for me. But that's where I'm at with it right now. Let's see. What's up? I'm still alive from NYC. What's going on, Jose? Hope everything is good. You and the family as well. Deb Elliott, now would not go. Yeah, I'm stuck on it. I'm not gonna go to Goodwill. I'm gonna wait it out. If I miss out on something really nice, something special, it is what it is. But I'm not gonna put myself at risk. You know what I mean? Let's see. Oh, other really big tip. I was thinking of doing a separate video on this, so I might chop this segment up really quick. But this is one tip that I got for you guys, especially for those of you that sell shoes like me, brand new in the box. So Pirate Ship. I'm gonna put it in the comments here so that people can check this out. PirateShip.com. This is where I've been able to save a ton of money in terms of saving in on shipping. So when I first started on eBay, I was selling a lot of clothing items, a lot of first class items, under 16 ounces. So it didn't necessarily benefit me to sign up with Pirate Ship at the time. And I believe when I first got wind of Pirate Ship, I think it was 2 years ago, I believe it was a paid service. At this point, Pirate Ship is free. So what I've been doing is that I'm still utilizing first class, shipping it through eBay because it's not much of a discount if you do that way. But if you're a sneaker seller, especially if you're selling shoes brand new in the box, the best way to save money on shipping is to use Pirate Ship because they're using cubic rate shipping. And for some people, this might be, this is nothing new to a lot of people. But for those that are new, Pirate Ship is definitely a really good way to save money on shipping. At first, I would spend sometimes as much as $15 on shipping, depending on where it was going, depending on how heavy the shoe is. Lately, I think I've used about 15 to 20. I've shipped about 15 to 20 different items on Pirate Ship. And just from that alone, I was able to save roughly about $40 because every time I'm saving on average at least $3 to $4 on average, sometimes even more than that. So the good thing is if like I said, even if you're not selling shoes and you're selling heavier products, if you're selling like home goods and pots and pans and all those type of things, weights especially, I know people are selling a lot of workout equipment, anything heavy and you need to save some money, definitely use Pirate Ship. It's one of those things that for me, I heard about it, but I didn't take it serious. And I think at this point, now that I'm really focusing on shoes, I think it benefits me now. And thankfully, it's free. Drop a comment if it was always free. I'm not sure if it was always free, but now that it is free, and you can easily import all of your information from eBay straight into the Pirate Ship software. And you don't need to download anything. You can just go straight to the website. And this isn't me sponsoring it by any means. This is me literally finding a good shipping tool, something really useful. And, I'm saving a ton of money. So I figured I'll tell you guys the same thing. Like I said, it's not sponsored. So if you guys have a negative experience with Pirate Ship, also drop that in the comment section. Let me know so I can be more aware. But at the same time, like I said, this is just me using it for the first month and I'm loving it right now. So like I said, drop a comment if you guys are familiar with Pirate Ship. Next up, the other topic that I wanted to talk about was the different type of content I wanted to drop. And it wasn't I didn't want to make too much of a series on it, but I just also wanted to give you guys a quick tip. Right now is the time to buy stocks. I know some people might say, it's risky, people are losing tons of money, this, that, and the third. If you have just the slightest bit of, extra income, if you're a part-time seller and you're getting, money from your existing job, say you're a teacher and you're still getting your income regularly and you can afford to put $100 into the stock market right now, this is the time to do it. And I was really thinking of making a video on this topic, but I wasn't necessarily sure how well it would be received because I'm no like financial guru or anything like that. I just know in 2008 when the recession happened, people that were on top of it and took advantage of the low stock prices, they're reaping the benefits now. So I'm definitely trying to do as much research as possible. I bought some shares from some airline stocks, and airlines right now are very tricky because of course they just got that I think they got like a stimulus package for them as well. So the stock prices are still kind of low, but I do think the future will be bright. So right now is the time to just do as much research as possible. And like I said, if you can't afford it, go for it. I'm one of those people that's kind of tight with money. I don't necessarily have vices and I don't waste money and I don't shop for myself. I'm usually just shopping for, either shopping for my wife or I'm shopping for the store. But now is the time to, invest in some stocks. If you were kind of on the fence and you were a little nervous, trust me, now is the time. So that's all I think I have for today's video. I had a few topics that I wanted to talk about, nothing that was warranted a full video. So I wanted to just go live. If you guys got any questions, any comments, drop it in the comment section. I'm going to get back to you guys as soon as possible. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.